He couldn't get it out, so the man started digging. After 2 years of digging, it still didn't come out, and only a third of the gold came out. The man greedily tried to get it out with his hands, but the gold didn't move at all. The daughter told him that you must not have liked the video or followed it, that's why it wouldn't come out. Give up, you can't take it. Paul still didn't want to give up and kept trying to get the gold out. Then the daughter said, if you don't go, you'll die soon. Paul then reluctantly let go of his hand. The strange thing is why there is such a big gold on the ground. Just 3 days ago, they went to the jungle to explore. The group inadvertently found a volcano made of gold, and the jungle is very beautiful. Not only were there birds and flowers, but there were also big baby elephants. While walking up a pile of strange stones, Paul suddenly slipped and stepped in the stone, and there was a sticky, unidentified liquid on the bottom of his foot. At a glance, this is not a stone, but a pile of dinosaur-sized lizard eggs. Then a crack suddenly appeared under the man's feet, and he fell down with a whimper. Inside the eggs were not only tons of shit, but also a newborn baby lizard. The man was so scared that he ran out of the shell. The commotion startled the lizard mom. As soon as the lizard saw that someone was stealing the egg, it directly stood up its 1-meter-tall body and rushed towards the men. The lizard crushed a lot of eggs on the way. They were so scared that they ran into the forest. Under the cover of trees, they hid in a corner, but the lizard still found them. Paul pulled out a match to scare off the lizard, but the lizard, with its armored skin, was not scared at all and ate it. Just as the lizard was about to eat a few people, a huge wooden stick hit him. After hitting the lizard's head, there were a few more sticks. The lizard shook a few times and fainted on the ground. An old man saved them. The old man told them that if they wanted to get the treasure, they had to go to the deepest part of the jungle. The next day, the group continued their journey. While walking through a small river, golden rain suddenly fell from the sky. They are actually similar to dogs, and if you look up, even the tiny big volcano is made of gold. Every time the volcano erupts, it rains gold from the sky. To find the treasure, you have to go deep into the jungle. The man holds a banana-like apple and eats it as he walks. Finally, a big mountain blocked their way. How can they get past it? The scene changes to see the old man flying on a wasp. The old man told them that as long as they watched the video and liked it and followed it, they could fly around on a wasp. Then a few people followed the old man's example and flew towards the mountain on a wasp. But just as they were about to fly over the mountain, a flock of hummingbirds stared at them. They flew towards them with their beaks wide open.
Trees!
They flew into the jungle to escape. However, the hummingbirds behind them were not less sensitive than the wasps. Then the old man controlled the wasp and collided with Paul to get rid of the hummingbirds. On the other side of the mountain, the sea is slowly rising and will soon submerge the horizon. The old man told them that there was an ancient submarine at the bottom of the sea. If we can drive it up, we can find the treasure. So Paul and Mike jumped into the water to look for the submarine. But as soon as they do, 2 sharks swim up to them. But when the camera got closer, they realized that the sharks were only as big as shrimps. Then Paul found the submarine. Just as they were about to open the hatch, an electric eel swam towards them. Paul directly into the submarine to avoid a disaster. Then Mike turned on the pump to drain the water inside the submarine. But Paul still found a problem. There is no electricity in the submarine, cannot start. At this point, Paul thought of a brilliant idea. He used a javelin to connect the wires to the outside of the submarine. Mike used a flashlight to lure the loach over. Then Paul threw the javelin and hit the loach right in the mouth. The loach immediately shivered in pain and emitted tens of thousands of volts of electricity. Then the submarine miraculously came to life. On the other side, a group of people stood on the shore waiting for Paul. Suddenly the rocks under their feet began to shake violently. They looked up to the sky, and all the volcanoes made of gold erupted. The sky was filled with gold. The rocks under their feet were knocked over by a huge wave. The 3 of them took a breath and jumped into the sea. Paul arrived in his submarine and took them in. Finally, Paul drove the submarine through a patch of debris. Seeing a boulder in the way, Paul directly shot a nuclear bomb to smash him. And that's how Paul's group escaped. They didn't get the treasure they wanted, but at least they saved their lives.